Yo, what is up guys? It's Renan and I'm finally back. I took kind of a break from making YouTube videos to kind of focus on other things, but I am back to bring you another video focused on aiming, which is when and why to focus on your crosshair or to focus on the target when you're aim training or when you're playing a game. Because I know there's a lot of people, including me, who don't really know when to look at the crosshair and when not to. Like, is it more important to be kind of threading the needle with the crosshair and then trying to line it up with the target? Or do you just kind of look at the target and build up some type of natural aim through your peripheral vision of the crosshair? But generally speaking, you want to be looking at the target and not really be paying attention to the crosshair all too much. You'll naturally get better at understanding where the crosshair is in your peripheral vision, as well as, you know, getting better aim and mouse control, where your brain will kind of be able to predict where the crosshair is going to be after a flick, and micro adjusting will come naturally that way. However, I will say that there is going to be one circumstance where you will want to be focusing on your crosshair, which is in kind of two situations, one in game and one in aim trainers. In game, the only time I'd really recommend lining up a shot with your crosshair is primarily if, say for example, you're shooting a guy who's standing stationary, then yeah, you'd want to look at your crosshair to make perfectly sure that the crosshair is on the target and you're going to land the shot. However, this is also extremely important in aim training when you do static dots, which is going to be things like one wall 6 target small, one wall 3 target small will take, things of that nature if you've ever played Kovacs, and there are similar ones in AimLab. And in those situations when you're doing the Bardos method, and I'm not really going to go into it too much, but if you want to know what the Bardos method is, go ahead and look it up on YouTube. But basically when you're trying to get accuracy up in your static dot routines in order to get better at your micro adjustments, then you're going to want to be paying attention to the crosshair. Every time you're about to land a shot, you want to make sure your crosshair is on the target before you fire. That way you build good habits, you're going to be a lot better with flicks and gain up that accuracy, and speed will come naturally over time. And those are the only two situations where I'd recommend lining up a shot. Now, when you play a game like Valorant, which is a very flick heavy game, again, I would recommend not to really be paying attention too much to your crosshair. You'll naturally gain an affinity for where your crosshair is at whenever you play games and aim train a lot. Without actually having to look at it, your brain will kind of see it in the peripheral vision and you'll be able to line up shots by mainly focusing on the target. And the main reason you don't want to be looking at the crosshair is because in every video game, people are moving, and people are moving very unpredictably. And if you've ever done any type of tracking routine in an aim trainer, or say you play very tracking heavy games like Overwatch or Apex, if you're looking at your crosshair too much, the player is going to leave you in the dust. You're going to be not reading the target very well, and you're not going to be able to track it at all. And this is important for even for Valorant, because people are moving. It's a type of dynamic clicking in Valorant, which is still a moving target type of scenario if you've ever played Kovacs. And again, in any dynamic clicking situation, you'll want to be staring at the target and not your crosshair. That way you can read the target and you can react to its movement better, and eventually you'll get really good at being aware of your crosshair at any given time through your peripheral vision the majority of the time. But outside of that, I do want to go back to the importance of static dots even for things like tracking, because you wouldn't think flick practice would be good for tracking. And one of the reasons I actually really like doing the Bardos method, which is a high accuracy type of static dot training, is because by focusing on the crosshair in an isolated scenario when you're flick practicing, you actually will be better at tracking the crosshair in the peripheral vision and tracking type scenarios or dynamic clicking, which is what I found really important. Because you're teaching your brain that the crosshair is important when you're trying to land a flick, and then naturally your brain will be paying a lot more attention to the crosshair even when you're not actively thinking about it. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on that situation to recap for you. You only want to be looking at your crosshair when you're landing a shot, or you're trying to land a guaranteed shot when a target isn't moving, or if you're doing static dots, then you'll want to be focusing on your crosshair. However, in every type of other scenario where the target is moving, especially moving a lot, then you're going to be wanting to focus on the target. That way you can follow and track it a lot better and read its movement a lot better, and you'll naturally gain an affinity for your crosshair without actually having to be looking at it directly. and you'll naturally get better at understanding where your crosshair is through your peripheral vision. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm out.